we're out at Stor-it Self Storage. It's a sprawling self-storage facility in West Jordan, Utah. They have a state-of-the-art video surveillance system that we installed. They're nice enough to let us come out and show you the smart way to install security cameras. Now, the owners of this facility, it's a family-owned company. They've been in the construction industry for decades. They know how to build buildings. They know how to lay out buildings. It's a really smart design. It's a large facility. One of the main things they wanted to do was provide a superior level of security and safety for their tenants. So they had us come in. We designed a custom system for them. We did strategically placed cameras, so we have 100% coverage of the facility. We really appreciate them being nice enough to let us to come in and show you how we installed some of these security cameras. So let's go take a look. Okay, so here we are at the entry gate camera, and they went with a Vandal Dome, a 4K camera with audio. And this camera has an important job. As customers pull up to the entry gate, we've got to do two things. We've got to identify the people in the car, and we've got to capture the plate. And that's what this camera will do. So what the customer did during construction is they ran some Cat5 cable and just kind of stubbed it out right here where they wanted it to, the camera to be located. Then the stucco people came along and they stuccoed it. I'm not really crazy about this install because the stucco can cut into the cabling here, and I've got no place to protect the connection to the camera from weather or from tampering. So our solution to mounting to the stucco is our universal M5 security camera mount. It's a patented mount by Backstreet Surveillance. It's designed to solve the problems that we ran into over the decades of installing cameras onto concrete and wood and stucco, every other difficult installation you can think of. This mount greatly reduces the time and the effort needed to professionally mount a security camera. So the first thing we want to do is put the mounting hardware into the stucco. And so we've used these plastic plugs. We've drilled our holes and we've put the plastic plugs in. You want to use the right mounting hardware for the material. If you go to our website, we have a great selection and recommendations on what type of hardware you should use depending on your mounting material. So the first thing we do is we mount the M5 base to the stucco. Now once the base is mounted, you use your weather-tight bushing. You wrap it around the cable. Make sure that the weather can't follow the cable into the mount. The next thing we do is we take the lid, the M5 lid, this guy here, and we mount it to the base. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the camera mounting base and mount it to the M5 mount. And we're going to use self-tapping screws to tap the mount onto the lid. Next thing we do is we connect the camera to the cable. And we push the cabling back into the mount. Now we put the weather-tight bushing on. And push the excess cabling back into the mount. And now we can put the mount bezel back on. And we lock it into place. Now we just have to aim and adjust the camera for the right field of view.
We're done. All done. Now this is the field of view that you get with the camera. Facial ID, plate ID. This is exactly the type of resolution and the type of camera you need to manage such a large facility with so many tenants. It's a great management tool.
All right, let's talk about interior security cameras. They're a lot easier to install than outdoor security cameras, and usually. I mean, that's because you have hollow interior walls. And so the customer did pre-wire, and they pulled the Cat5 cable. Yeah, it's Cat5. And just left it hanging out of the hole here. So we've already mounted the camera mounting base here. And really all you do, it's as simple as just connecting the camera to the cable, pushing the excess back into the wall. Okay. placing the camera, putting the bezel on it, and then aiming it. And that's it. And you can do that same process, just hiding the cable in the wall, whether you're mounting ceiling or wall. You don't want to try and do this on an exterior wall because there's a really good chance you don't have a hollow cavity behind it to push the excess cable into.
Okay, so there's some basics on how to install indoor cameras. You're going to run into a lot of different scenarios. If you want some advice, feel free to contact us. We'll be glad to help you. But let's move forward and let's go take a look at how we laid out the cameras and how this system is designed.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about system design. Now obviously we have the video recorder, the NVR, network video recorder, in the main facility in a very secure room. But how do we communicate and how do we link all these security cameras that are on these big, long storage facilities to the video recorder? Wireless is out. There's metal everywhere. Wireless is for residential unless you do it right. We'll do a whole nother video on that, so don't worry about it. But this is a hardwired system, but we used our brains about distributive backbones. And so basically what we did is we created a network of security cameras. This is what we call our Sentry system. What it does is it lets us put electronics outdoors in a controlled environment. It's got a heated back plate and it's got a blower for the hot days. Okay. Now this is a PoE unit, power over Ethernet. That's all it means. It's a glorified power supply. So what it does, you'll notice right here we've got 4 cameras coming in. So on this long 550-foot building, we've got 4 cameras on this side of the building protecting it. So if we got 4 cameras coming in and we've got 1 network cable going back to the video recorder. That's brilliant because it eliminates the need to run all these cables back to the video recorder. Okay? I still would prefer this was inside somewhere. Now, we have a couple more challenges with this building. Okay? It's 550 feet long. The longest you can go with a Cat 6 cable is 300 feet. And the reason being, it's not so much the data, it's the power. You can only push so much power down Cat 6 cable. It's just really small 23 gauge wire. Okay, so we've got 4 cameras here. We've got them on the corners. At midway down, about 250 feet, we've got 2 cameras looking back at each other. And on the far end, we're down there all the way at 550 feet. So how did we take that camera and send it back here? Let's walk down there and I'll show you. Okay, so here we are at the midpoint of this facility. So we're about 225 feet down. We've got 2 cameras back to back looking down the aisles. So we've got the camera on the corner looking this way, this camera looking this way. Does a couple of things for us. No matter where someone enters that area, we're going to have 2 fields of view. And we're going to have one where they're closer to the camera and another one where they're not so close. But the cool thing about it is at nighttime, the 2 cameras feed off each other's night vision. So you get twice the clarity and a very stable environment at night because you have twice the infrared light projecting onto the area that we're surveilling. Okay, now we're at 225 feet. We've got our other camera all the way down to the end there, which is a total of 550 feet. How did we do that? We did that with a very clever unit called a PoE extender. And what it is, it's a little black box. You can find them on our website. They're outdoor weather rated, so you can put them right in the ground if you need to. But what they do is they regenerate the signal and they regenerate the power, so you can go another 300 feet. So at this point, these cameras are just home run right back to the PoE unit itself, but also right at this mark, for the network cable going the rest of the way, we put that PoE extender in and the camera comes up perfectly. Okay, now they have acres of RV and boat storage. It's outdoor storage, so it's a lot of flat top. How do we provide 100% surveillance with 100% facial ID on such a large area? And the answer is with the right cameras placed in the right locations. that's the kind of resolution that you need from your security cameras if you're going to want facial ID while you're surveilling large areas. You've got to go with the right resolution and the right lenses. That's a wrap for us here. Appreciate you watching. If you have any specific questions or challenges that you're dealing with right now, go ahead and leave a comment. We check them daily and we respond back with the best advice that we can. And also subscribe. We've got several how-to videos coming up in the next couple of weeks, and you don't want to miss them. They're excellent. Thanks for watching.